Huh. I need to edit that real quick. Or I can break it lower. Oh. You're being seen by 3 base stations now. Calm down.
Diaz.
What? Buenos dias.
What?
Buenos dias? Is that what you're saying to me? What the heck? Hold on. I'm still fixing things.
Yeah, I'm loading you too.
What the heck is... Wait, did they change something with the cameras?
I mean, if you want to take a look at cameras.
Yeah.
Then again, I don't stream.
True. Yeah, it's only showing part of it.
Okay, that's not a text I need to listen to.
That's not that. Huh.
So,
Why the heck? Hold on. Let me see if it's an OBS thing real quick. We're doing it live.
all right. We're doing it live.
We're always doing it live. It's always live. VR.
On AMC's The Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead. Stop locking it.
Last time on The Walking Dead.
Not that one. Oh my goodness, Carl!
Carl! Why is he not in the fucking house?
It did change. Huh. Fun.
Woo! Time to relearn your stuff again.
Funny thing, you used to watch Callous Row, right?
Yes.
The guy who played the lead of the Mars Corp, Chandler, chair handler.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the guy who plays Carl.
I knew that.
Chandler Riggs. Yeah.
There's even the clip by that one guy who even made a fucking reference to it.
Yeah, I know. What? Oh, right, transition. Haha, because I changed it. Wonderful. Even though you know the lighting here's all weird and everything. Hello, 85000. Yeah, Charles. Okay, you're just going to be somewhere in here. By the way, if you hear a bird, there's a bird just outside. It's going beep, beep, just like that.
We'll just assume that's an alarm going off somewhere.
Yeah, you know,
something important.
Okay, you want me to arrive from the elevator or somewhere over there?
Yeah, from the elevator.
Okay, cool.
Little bit of backstory. This place is an abandoned corporate facility that was used to manufacture spacecraft. Using your intuition, you can't really detect any sort of surveillance or anything like that. Nothing nefarious.
I'm a spy.
Outside of,
Oh, wait, have you actually seen this?
Yeah,
this is what you provided.
I fucking love it. I'm glad you got it working.
Listen.
Let's hear it.
It
Nice.
has the cock. It has and that's slug mode, but I can actually change it for the shot.
Oh, don't do this to me. You're making the Southern and being very happy right now, Foot.
Listen, I'm also Southern. It has to be right. It has to be right. Okay,
Hold
old
on.
industrial complex. It's an old ship, you said?
Shipbreaking complex. Basically,
Shipbreaking,
building and taking
okay.
apart ships.
Oh, it's a shipwright. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go arrive from the elevator.
Arriving from the elevator.
Yep. Once you see me,
I will already be here.
Yep. Cool. We'll be in character.
Yeah,
let me get my voice running.
up as soon as we.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, as soon as you see me. Yep.
It's my voice, so I'll just fuck off over here somewhere.
Yeah. Meow. Oh my low gravity. I like how this is the elevator, even though they just put like a frame around the wall. But yeah. Yeah, the big boomsticks are great. They're great. All right. Irish. We're speaking Irish. Right, here we go. And I actually have my base stations now, as you can't see it. You can't see it that way either. Oh well, we don't care. Here we go. we're speaking Irish. We're speaking Irish because her name is Sean O'Delly. Nice to meet you, Sean O'Delly. By the way, I came up with a call sign for Sean finally that isn't Jack. Jack was the placeholder. I feel like he's finally earned one, so I finally came up with one. It was really hard to think of one for him. Like, real hard. As in, I spent months thinking about one. So, we'll see when it gets put in. If at all. Sure don't have a knife out. Ah, the fresh rain of coolant. Lots of coolant here. Charles, how's it going?
Well, I'd ask you. You're the guy whose hospital got bombed and all that.
Oh, it's going terribly. Go on, let's get more out of the
Very enthusiastic
the wet.
about that.
Yeah.
I've dragged a few boxes over here.
Yeah, I got 3.
That's it.
Oh.
If you see a bunch of guys with red spider eyes, just go ahead and let that shotgun sing.
You know, I'll do that. I will do that for certain.
I was about to say, you're just doing the world a favor at that point. So
Yeah, just like it is getting rid of tigers. So yeah, what do you want to meet about? Me
you and
as...
I might be able to come to a good arrangement about that.
All right.
But first, so remind me again exactly what the hell happened. Especially
You're
now that
referring
we're
to
in
Maz?
private. All right, so was she the one who caused this whole bombing situation?
She's the
I've been
one...
hearing so much about.
All right, so let me lay it out for you. She obtained gas bombs or gas releasing canisters from another tiger by the name of William B. Price. I just call him
fancy
William.
name.
I don't know why. It's William Baxter Price. People always like to say it. Anyways, she obtained those from him. At some point, she somehow planted these things in one of the public hospitals of District 0. Then she was at basically, we were patrolling around. We saw a group of tigers. In this case, fangs. Because apparently, well, she oversees the fangs. Maz does.
Now remind the uninitiated here. What are the fangs?
The fangs are tigers who have actually been trained. They're former military, former police, mercenaries, the like.
Which military?
I don't know. I
Or is
don't
it just
ask.
non-specific.
I don't
anyone who
exactly engage
immigrates?
them in
Okay.
conversation when they're trying to kill me.
I'm trying to get all info I can get here.
From what I have learned, though, Maz is former Federation.
Well, shit.
Uh-huh. But then a thing
that's something
happened
to
and she had to
definitely ask
survive
back
off
home.
of cannibalism, and then now she is the way she is, and I'm betting tigers are exploiting her. But
Okay.
doesn't, make her innocent of the things she's done.
Yeah,
Either way.
not getting many sympathy cards from me.
Yeah. We were on the mission, and she showed up. Actually, the recording, she was already there. And then, during the fight that ensued, she pulled out a detonator. And then, after getting flashbanged, or was it punched? Might have been punched. She pressed it. And then off in the distance, you'll see what you see in the video. The plume of smoke, and then the shockwave of a bomb going off. That's what they felt anyways. You could actually see it in the video. And then later on in the video, she, then claims responsibility for what happened and what she even did. I'm betting a lot of those videos that were posted online are now deleted. But yeah, it actually showed people from the hospital, staff, patients, getting out of their beds or running to the people who can't even move and beating each other to death. In some cases, literally ripping each other apart. The like that.
And this is this gas that they've been pumping into the sewers.
Yeah, it's I've actually seen it myself, and I've inhaled it myself. It makes everyone around you look like a hostile. And I mean, everyone,
Interesting.
including your allies. It didn't affect me as much because I've gone through quite a bit, but even still, I was seeing things.
Okay.
That's why we've been getting so many gas masks from you. But
And then
yeah.
this second incident that I think I heard you talk about, what was that?
All right, that was an
Something
incident.
about another place blowing up.
Yeah, that was our hospital, to which you just agreed the week prior that we were going to start bringing in civilians because we wanted to start improving our relations with the civilian populace. Because, well, one, it would help us get information. Two, funding.
Recruits.
We're not going out and like beating people up for money. We're letting them offer recruits if they'd like, and things like that. We're not doing things like we used to. Like we used to go around, hustle people for money, make all these, well, crimes. There's no other way to put it. They're crimes. In order to get the funds we need to, well, operate. But no, now we're being legit. Because, well, we're being invaded. For lack of a better term. Either way, moving on. We started admitting civilians into our own hospital. We call it the Whispering Willow. And all of a sudden, we had 4 or 5 zones start having sniper fire and other tiger like fighting, just breaking out entirely. So I had to send
Some
out
sort of
everybody.
coordinated assault.
It was a coordinated assault, something that we actually did similar to them. It was a coordinated assault, of which all but one were distractions, where if they actually managed to hit a Whisper and take them out, it was just a benefit to them. They weren't actually trying to take over the zones. They were, however, in Zone 11, which is right next to the outer zones and then the zone itself that had the Whispering Willow. Are you aware of what a Viper is?
I assume you're not referring to the common snake.
No, I'm not. Are you aware of who Nevrossi is?
Nope.
All right. Short term, Nevrossi is a tiger who is, well, she makes Magitech. All right? Funnily enough, she's only joining them because she wants the money. Don't tell any tigers that, because they'll go after her. She made the Vipers. Now, imagine a mech, a robot. Let's see. I'm about 6'3", 6'6", somewhere around there. These things are around 8 feet tall. And, well, the only way, from what I've been reported to, that a ballistic weapon's going to do anything to him is if it actually gets in a gear or something. Laser weaponry, plasma weaponry.
Hydraulics, something like that.
That is what is needed to actually take them out. They have some kind of auto rifle on their arm, and then another one they used to bring out a shield of some kind. That, and if that fails, they punch, they kick. They're bipedal.
Which, considering is some sort of exosuit or something like that, is there an actual pilot in this machine, actually?
No. It was reported to me the other day that
They have fucking UGVs.
they even talk.
Okay. I guess it's only in Zafira where we have walking automatons with auto rifles.
Uh-huh.
In
Yeah.
gang service.
And gang service. I know, it's wild, isn't it? It's absolutely wild. Either way, she was there, including 3 Vipers. These big 8-foot monstrosities that can barely take any damage. They go through these zones, wipe out one of the outposts, slaughtering all the Whisperers there. My team that I had sent there managed to actually get a good portion of them out, thankfully. But the Vipers then proceeded on their way all the way to the Whispering Willow. Now, the Whispering Willow is armed with laser weaponry. They're all armed with lasers. I made a huge purchase from an individual by the name of Jimmy. If you know the Shriekers at all, they deal with weapons.
Nope.
He's mainly a laser weapon dealer. He's a synth himself. I think he's an old Federation bot. Has a plasma gun on his right hand. Southern. They made their way to the Whispering Willow, and tigers followed. They got a whole bunch of bombs and placed them on the outside, where I guess the members of the Willow could not reach because the Vipers were suppressing them or something. And then it had to be Magitech or something of that lines, because we heard over comms and, well, have witnessed destruction later of people screaming, and the entire Whispering Willow was obliterated. The people inside,
I mean, they could
including
do that
civilians.
with some sort of, okay.
Only a handful of people made it out, including at my time one of the leaders of the Whisperers and one of our medics. And they barely got out. Now, since then, and this is proof more of Nevrosi's neutrality, she asked me for a single thing I wanted at the time. She asked me for a single thing I wanted at the time. And seeing as how my hospital was just blown up, I asked for a whole bunch of beds made out of Magitech, or have Magitech technology in them, that when someone lays in them overnight, they can be healed. Now, granted, you still have to do the dirty work, like reattach arteries and veins and the like, but it accelerates natural healing.
They're healed.
Exactly. They just need to lay in the bed overnight.
Interesting.
But that is what we've been dealing with. We did manage to take a tiger out, a tiger boss. He frequented the meat rack. Davey.
Davey, I was actually going to ask. He was sick and going to be away for a while.
I shot him in the head.
Well, it's good to know someone dies from getting shot in the head in this fucking city.
The people who were going to do it were going to torture him for a week or more.
That's pretty stupid.
That's what you expect, too. Well, honestly, Davey deserved it. He tortured my Whisperers, and from the brief questions I asked him, enjoyed it.
Yeah, considering his personality, I'm not overly surprised by that.
Yeah. So that's what happened to him. To which, well, Nev is becoming far more neutral. And at the moment, supplying both sides. Ultimately, I want to get her out of the Tigers and have her make her own business or corporation, as she puts it, for herself. That way she's actually just completely neutral. But, yeah. That's effectively what's going down.
Alright, so here's the part where I may get myself shot. We'll find out. Did I tell you who else I work for outside of the meat rack?
Let me see. No.
Alright. We don't have operational authority in your district, so before you think whatever you said is going to get you in trouble...
Is it Geldir?
Yes.
He and I are
I'm
friends.
the right-hand man of one of his top guys. Okay. Yeah.
Geldir and I are friends. We actually have a
something to that
private
effect
meeting.
from himself.
We have a deal going on right now. to where we're going to clear the tunnels
All
out
right.
of tigers, and he's going to help rebuild and refurbish them, including a secret tunnel for you guys.
So, actually, no, that was going to be a later question. But for now, all right. So, at the moment, as far as I understand, our rules of engagement in Guardian is that we can't intervene legally. You know, Saphira, what the fuck is legal?
Very true.
Without evidence that the Tigers are operating in other districts. Or at least I can't put forward a good enough reason why. I wanted to go after them as soon as that hospital got bombed, but because Kaijin Tower claims operational authority over District 0 and no one else is allowed in.
Oh, they've been claiming a lot of the victories as their own when they're ours.
Well, of course, it's Kaijin fucking Tower. They're embarrassments.
They kind of
Or
are.
at least to an outsider, I'm not sure what y'all have to deal with. Oh, well, there we go.
Oh, we're
fucking
dealing with
sorted.
them doing kind of like a pseudo martial law in District 0.
Is it actually effective?
No,
I figured as much.
it's never effective. Because, ironically, they don't really know what they're doing. They think they do. And all they do is they show up in force with guns and drop ships.
So in short, they're repeating dear old dad's mistakes. Rest in peace, Dad.
Well, that's a funny thing. What do you know about Akikoda?
I know he's the councilman of District 0. He seems like an idiot. He's got a fat ass. Am I missing anything?
We've been keeping a close eye on him. And while he says that he's trying to turn over District 0, at the same time,
Turnovers and hand it over to someone else?
no as in make it better. As in turn things around. I guess turn around would be a better way to put it. But in the conversations I have had with him, because we are a big part of District 0, you gotta speak to the councilman. That's actually how we obtained 2 warehouses for the homeless. Which, again, Kaijin Tower took claim on.
No
even though they
interest
didn't.
in, I'm willing to bet. Lovely.
But yeah, they have shelter now. He says that he is unable to operate due to another individual within the tower that is keeping close eye on him and preventing him from doing anything. One of his, I believe it's a security, like head of security or something, called Hex.
X. Well, never heard of them. Not much of
I
a
actually
shock.
spoke
Not
with
much news
Hex.
comes out of the district.
I spoke with Hex. She is quite aware of, well, everybody who works down beneath everything. People like us, people who work down in the grime, in the coolant, and who do things just to survive. However, she does work for that corporation. Made a deal with her at one point to get one of my men out from Davy's grasp. It was 1.5 million credits. So they have the access. I know. And the funny thing is, these people who I've done things for are just...
resources.
These people who I've done things for to get them safe, they really seem unappreciative. But either way, she is actually quite reasonable. Even though she is a corpo, she does a lot of the money transactions and things like that under the table. But she can actually be reasoned with. However, at the same time, from what he's saying, she's preventing him from doing things. So from my perspective, I don't exactly know who to believe just yet. Especially since they're both corpo.
I don't have any stakes in this, so I won't say who I would think is better. I already have a little bit of an inkling, but that might be personal bias.
It might be personal bias. I know he shows up at the meat rack. Aki does.
Oh, you think I'm thinking Aki would be better?
Well,
That's a shame.
really, you think Hex?
All right, from what I've seen, the guy has no idea what's going on with the vast majority of his population. He's overall a witless idiot. He's probably going to be manipulated by all other standing councilmen,
Yeah.
including the one for Palace, who literally is an empty chair.
Mm-hmm.
Why exactly would we want that sort of weakness?
Speaking of which,
Especially when that allows tigers to do what they do.
even all that, he is aware of the business side of things. Just like in terms of the council, he is aware of Malleus trying to pass a bill of some kind that would, if I recall, put him at the center of council power and put his business in each of the districts. Which I don't know how much Geldir does not like Malleus. But I can tell you right now, I would love to see that man dead.
There are many who would, and very few who can actually make that happen.
Well, he does fund the tigers.
I believe
and
one of yours tried.
Toku.
All right, everyone says that. Where's the proof?
Where's the proof? Do you want me to find proof? Do you want me to find proof? Actual, tangible proof. Give me a rough
depending
idea.
on how much that's going to put your neck on the line.
If it gets him, at least even remotely downscaled, great. Tell me what sort of evidence would be solid on proving that he's funding the tigers.
That's
Because
the
I'm
problem,
fairly
is
certain
that
he
I
doesn't have
don't-
ledgers.
Correct. Man's not an idiot. I have no idea. Just that everyone keeps repeating these rumors, but then we have nothing to base them off of. I'd love to, knock that bastard down a peg, but until we have something, we can't do anything.
Yeah.
Same thing with Zero. Our hands are tied, and actually, I was going to talk about that, but then we started this
Maybe I did do
conversation, and I'd
that.
rather finish it.
Right. Go ahead.
Well, no, I wanted to finish this conversation, so
Yeah. On my part, I'll do what I can to find something, but that'll be very hard. I have an
you have
idea.
a war to fight.
I do have a war to fight and a lot of people to save. You know,
Right.
being the leader of Whispers, sometimes I feel like Atlas. Just carrying the world on my back.
I'm sure most leaders in history have felt that way.
Yeah. All right, but
Especially in a
that's...
city like this.
My shoulders are aching, Charles. They're actually bruised. A lot. A great deal. From the invisible weight.
Starting to feel that a bit with Malleus myself, but that's probably not something you need to hear about too much. Here's something I will say. We think he might be getting balder. Balder, not balder. Not this.
It would be great if he was getting balder because, well, he'd
wish.
have a wig that you could steal. You could snatch his weave.
Jesus Christ. I think
Look.
only Marge would be so audacious.
She would. She would. By the way, Marge, old friend. Same
I had
with
a
Sarah.
feeling I was meeting a lot of y'all with
Same
Slick.
with Sarah,
I
Willow,
believe.
Butch. Let's see.
Slick,
Yorick.
not one of y'all.
Slick was never a fallen. He was a whisperer. I do know Slick, though. He's good. And Jackie. And Cecil.
I keep on hearing about this Fallen, but there's never much records on them. Outside of one incident, But,
yeah. I know the
I find
incident
it
you're talking
laughable.
about. I know.
Yep.
People always take out of context. They forget the part where there were literally dozens of tigers right there, and they threw the
I
grenades
just find
horribly.
it hilarious that y'all were declared terrorists in the middle of 3 or 4 wars of total genocide. But a couple humans with a bomb, and suddenly you're public enemy number 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's just people pushing problems they think they can actually handle, and leaving the rest of crazy ass
Exactly.
mercenaries
People complain.
fight God on the weekend.
People complain when it's easy to complain. When it's actually something that's worthwhile, they don't do anything because it's easy. That's one reason why District 0's in the state. It's easier to destroy others than it is to create something better.
Well, now on to my point, I suppose. So, as I was saying, we need having tangible proof of Malleus fucking around and causing problems in other councilmen's districts. That would be lovely. However, something that might be a little bit more immediate is if we could get anything on tigers operating in other districts. If you have any evidence of that, we might be able to push something a little bit more extreme than just looking at them funny.
All right. You are aware that they did have rights to be bodyguards of the brothel that Cassandra's building, right?
Not sure who issued those rights, but...
Well, her brothel, her thing. However, with them being branded as terrorists now, well, she's looking more to us. However, once again, Charles...
We still need authorization to do something.
I know, once again, Charles, keep that on the down low. In terms of them operating the waterfront district, I'm already working with Cassandra and Hamsky to get them out for good.
We could just get some evidence of their criminal activity while you're at it. I have a feeling I can at least push something. Because at that point, that isn't a District 0 issue. That is a Zafira issue.
It is.
That is all of us.
It is.
And if we actually have legal reason to intervene, Kaijin Tower has less to push us back out.
Though I will say, under the table, having one or two of you who could easily blend in on an operation of ours, more than happy.
Very fucking risky.
It would be, yeah. But...
That is some Christians in action level shit.
yeah.
I assume you know what I'm... Okay.
Yeah, I know. But that is an option, especially if you retain the weaponry and armor that we do. Of course, if someone does, like, magic crap or bring out a giant mech, then, well...
Yeah, Butch was telling me that y'all don't well, I mean, you say don't bring out giant mechs. The fuck are the Vipers, then? But
we
disregarding
have
that, moving on.
a singular mech. It's a piloted one. It is something we obtained from construction workers who had an illegal license for it. We actually had the cops to help. They had an illegal license for it. But that currently is our way to deal with big threats. However, we only have the one, and, well, replicating it is excruciatingly difficult. We used to have a mech called Killer Queen that would stand a little higher than the ceiling right here.
Okay.
Had, like, missiles and such. We had to sell it after the flood.
Who the fuck would you sell it? Never mind. Maybe no. Actually,
It's Zafira.
Don't tell me. I should not know.
Why did you want it?
Fuck no. You think I can afford something like that?
I know the
Where the
maintenance
hell
would
would
have
I
been
park it when I
crazy.
go to work at the meat rack? I'll just park it where the food truck used to be, just and then just go to work. Fuck no.
Yeah, just have it transform into your car. Anyways.
Jesus Christ.
Look, it's Saphira. We can
That wouldn't be the first
find
time
many
I've seen
things.
one of those things.
That doesn't surprise me. It does not surprise me in the slightest. But that would be an option for finding out criminal activity.
Do you think this Nev person would be willing to turn informant?
It depends on how much money you're going to give her.
In exchange for compensation?
And she is going to ask
That's
for a lot of
another
money.
avenue.
Because right now, the main reason
Seems like she
why
wants to
she's
start a
staying with the
corporation.
Tigers, the main reason why she's staying with the Tigers is because she effectively gets a blank check. And with it being the market district, that's a lot of credits.
Wait, so she operates out of the market district?
All the Tigers do.
What the fuck? This is news to me. Okay. I thought, well, alright.
All the Tigers operate primarily out of the market district. There's actually a casino out there called the Red something. Then there's a bar at the top called the Golden Rose. That's owned by a man named by Francesco Ricci. He's a tiger.
I think I've met him.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I'm willing to
tiger.
bet his shit's legal-ish.
I can tell you right now, he knows his business. I had a conversation with him one-on-one once, to which simply for an entire meeting with himself, me, and his little nephew named Alex, if you've seen that little beast running around, he bought out an entire ice cream parlor that was twice the size of this catwalk lengthwise and about 3 of it in width.
Jesus Christ.
With all sorts of fanciness and he rented it out just so the 3 of us could talk.
Meanwhile, here we are in the fucking coolant. Yeah, I wonder who's getting fucking money from...
He's extremely smart. So if any of you ever talk with him, be very careful. He's very convincing. The only reason why I even got out of there without promising anything is because I don't like people who are charismatic.
See, for me, it was very simple. I was already making money. I don't need his money.
But yeah, you look up that casino and such, that's one place they're operating.
Except I'm willing to bet there's probably some sort of protection similar to, name, Waterfront. Wants to get the Tigers out of her brothel. Fuck, name.
Cassie.
Starts with a C. Cassie. There we go, that one. I thought you called her Cassandra.
Cassandra's her full name. Cassie's short.
Oh, okay.
By the way,
she's
don't you
always
dare-
said that her name's Cassie to us.
Don't you dare try and actually flirt with her.
Give me a massage once, I guess.
Well, that's fine.
I mean, she is a kid. I assume she's with someone.
Long story. I'll let her share it.
Ah.
Kid's cute,
And
by
I
the way.
probably won't ask, so I probably won't hear it.
And yes, the kid does exist.
I didn't even consider that they didn't.
Well, when you've been dealing as much stuff as we have, sometimes you learn that they make excuses so they can get benefits. Her, though? She's very honest. Just remember that mama bears are very, dangerous.
She's got fucking cyborg arms. She'd probably knock my fucking skull out of my face. Yeah, no.
All right, do you know the function of those? Do you know the function of her cybernetic arms?
Okay, so there was one thing she offered, but I immediately turned it down because it was in the middle of my workday and I wasn't exactly feeling like getting frisky. Outside of that,
Yeah,
no.
they vibrate in a specific motion. And however she wants.
Right.
I think
am
you can
aware.
figure it out. Yeah. That and they just look fancy.
I am aware.
But yeah, in terms of them operating and such, when it comes to the market district, I don't think it's going to be viable unless we find something solid, like an actual paper trail. Which, with how they operate and how long they've been operating, they've got very intelligent people on there, not even counting Malleus himself. So finding
this isn't
information,
even, like manufacturing weapons or conducting drug deals or extortion
I'm pretty
rackets
sure
or anything like that.
I'm fairly certain they purchased their weapons and materials aside from the Magitech, because that's specifically Nev. And
Which
thankfully,
is through Nev.
they haven't been, you know, mass supplying that to anybody. Thank goodness. So yeah, they very likely get everything they have legitimately. Which, well, makes it
That
hard.
complicates things.
Yeah. The only thing is that we would need to find an entire sort of trail on how those weapons get in the hands of gangsters, in the hands of the Tigers. And from there, all that you can really tie it to is the person who distributed it. Not any further.
Right. Right. So nothing like recruitment or housing or hell, where they store that gas. Because if they have so much of it to destroy an entire hospital.
Now that we can do. If we can find the location of where they're producing the gas and things, that we can try.
I thought I heard something about this fancy name tiger, William Powers or whatever the fuck you
William
called
Baxter
him.
Price.
Price. Is he also in on this? Is he also committed?
When the gas attack happened, we actually gave him a call and said, hey, your tiger, Maz, just committed an act of terrorism. Now, if you guys would like to save face, we'll do a trade for it. You give us the antidote to the gas, a way to neutralize it, and we won't spread the actions of what Maz had done. He did not agree and hung up. If I recall, I think he said it was a very effective test. But I might be recalling that incorrectly.
See.
It wasn't my conversation anyways. It was reported.
So in that case, he sounds committed either way.
He is committed. Wait, does she have... I might actually have footage of him, or at least of a tiger, doing a deal with... Was it Corpos? I'll have to check on that. I think one of my people actually got footage
I mean,
on
it would
somebody.
need to be in another district either way.
The deal was in 0.
All right.
I know that much.
But at least lets us know who this person is.
Yeah.
And that we should not play nice with them.
Maz was
If we have
there.
the option to do anything.
Yeah. Maybe Ash? Yeah. I'll find what I can find. That's what I can promise. Because, sure, we're the Whispers. We're a gang. But right now, Kaijin Tower is trying to take over the policing for the old ZCPD. That was in the district. However, they're doing a piss poor job at it. My own people who are going out on the streets and taking things on their own, they're doing a better job. All right. I might need to speak with Geldir again.
I can see what I can do to arrange that.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling that
Let me
having more people
do
than
some.
just you and him might be a good idea.
Let me do some thoughts on it first. But right now, the initial thought is obtaining either a sponsorship or something from him that would make Whisper
Legitimize
operations
yourself, basically.
as a police force. Yeah.
Do you think all of your people would be good for that?
Absolutely not. But at the same time, they know we're fighting a war, and, well, at the moment, it doesn't look very good. We had someone send out a very motivational message the other day, but
Words don't equal bullets, and they don't equal bodies.
they don't equal medical supplies. But if we could obtain legitimacy, well, we could get a lot more ability to do things, to take action. Because right now, the things we'd normally do, like, well, bomb their vehicles and their buildings. We do have demolitions experts, making sure that it's done in such a way that it doesn't cause collateral. We could do that. We could actually get calls from civilians that they're being attacked by tigers. We'd have an official number. Things like that.
Might need to filter out spoof calls, though, for ambushes.
Oh yeah, there's always that. There's always that. But yeah, that's the initial thought. If you want, you can go ahead and share that with Geldir, but let me think more on it too.
Alright.
But in exchange for that, or at least the start of that, I will do what I can to get information on things. Otherwise, if you have a job that we can do, let us know in case you actually need something under the table. Because we are looking for mercenary work, anything to get money right now, because right now we are short on funding.
And in need of medicine.
And in need of medicine. Right now I have a lot of people who are very skilled at what they do. It doesn't even need to be, well, going out and finding someone, going out and bagging someone for the Guardian District. It can literally be, we need some things fixed. We need some things monitored. Things like that. I'm already promising the information.
Being if you decide that this is a good idea with a second turnover, anyway.
Yeah. Plus, if the Whispers get legitimized, then our guarding of the railways that are then built by Geldir, including the secret one, also becomes legitimate. So it would also look good for him.
Kaijin Tower has approved the building of these railroads?
Yeah.
By Geldir?
Uh-huh. Because, that's one reason why Aki came to me. He said, hey, you need to talk with Geldir because Geldir requested to speak with the leader of the Whisperers. So Aki knows about it because it is a large construction operation in his district. And, well, Whispers also get to oversee the blueprints. Because, well, that is a lot of our residents.
I'll see what I can do to try to get that done. I have a hard time thinking we're going to get very much good looks trying to do investigations in market.
Wait.
We are, to my knowledge, allowed to operate there. Oh. Okay.
Hold on. I need to send a text message. Whisper in character text. Let me ask my people right now. Yeah. Do we still have a sample of the gas that price makes all right, let me see if they actually answer.
If we had any excuse to bag Maz, we'd probably just get whatever gas from her mask.
That's different.
Considering she seems to huff that shit.
I can tell you right now that that's different from the stuff. Apparently it has other kind of medical things in there. From what I've been told. Her sister uses something similar.
Her sister?
Yeah, her sister's a part of the Whisperers.
That's a new one. Alright.
Also a former Federation.
Family dynamic.
She's an old mech pilot. And engineer. She's actually quite nice.
I see one sister must have just gotten all the bad genes then.
Well, I think it is mostly due to the cannibalism. You know, eating human meat and all the things it does to your head. Not psychologically, I mean physically, yeah. We've actually talked with your people over in the Rip and Chip about various medications that can be used to help with that. I passed that on to Mari.
To Amari?
Mari.
Is that what you said?
That's
Mari.
the sister's name.
Mari.
Maz Mari.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Again, do be careful with that. But let's see. All right. I'll get you a sample of that gas. And if I can, a big thing of it. Issue is that in order to stop it from doing its thing once it's ignited, unless you have a hefty gas mask, you need to destroy the canister. And apparently those things are very explosive because most of it's destroyed.
Would this work?
Yeah, probably.
But say I'm getting one heftier than this. So, really might not be a bad shot at it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we'll work on that. I just found out a way to make that happen. One of the things I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to make the tigers fight each other. Cause an internal conflict.
Okay.
To which there is a wild card in the tigers. You already know her, Maz. She's literally crazy.
Right.
She's an extreme wild card. What I can do is I can somehow figure out a way to manipulate her into getting us that sample. She obtained the canisters for the hospital before. I'm a spy, Charles. That's what I do. Granted, I'm not the secret undercover kind, and if I was, you wouldn't know it. Because I wouldn't look or sound like myself. But we can do that. That's an option. That would also potentially start infighting.
We were talking about spoofing things. Maybe you could spoof that some sort of other test was being conducted, and then if you had some way of tracking Maz's movements, you could figure out where that would be handled.
I can also try and get my other contact in the... Ooh, I can get my other contact too. I have 2 other contacts inside the tigers. So... Alright, I'll see what I can do to get that gas. As big a sample as we can get, but how much do you need? Like minimum.
Honestly, if we just had enough to maybe reverse engineer our own, what would you say, antidote, that would be wise.
With a gas, probably a
Of course, we'd
neutralizer.
also have to figure out how to distribute that. Yeah.
You know how they put people
be
in
its own problem.
oxygen tanks after when you get the bins from diving?
No.
Okay. If you swim up too fast after diving with air tanks, if you surface too fast, you don't equalize the pressure, bubbles will form inside of you. And you have a certain amount of time before you pass out and your lungs start to internally bleed. The treatment is quite simple.
Jesus Christ.
That's why the ocean's scary. Actually, any sort of diving's scary. The treatment's simple. You get put into a chamber and get essentially fed pure oxygen. So it would be some kind of, you'd need to formulate some kind of agent. I spent way too much time with Marge back in the day. You'd need to formulate some kind of agent that would then get sprayed into the same area the toxin already is. That would then, well, neutralize it. And anybody else who would breathe it in, it would also neutralize it in them.
So here's another option. With NBC training, we were given injectables that would basically mitigate the exposure to dirty bombs, chemical weapons like VX and sarin gases. Do you think this gas would work in such a way to where you could use one of those injectors? Do people have enough time to realize they are being affected by this gas?
No.
All right, well, that ruins that plan.
You would have to be like myself. You'd have to go through a lot of trauma and, well, the feelings of fear don't affect your mind. It would be better to never get affected by it in the first place. Gas masks, rebreathers, things like that. And make sure it's very securely attached to your face and can't easily be cut off or removed by hand. You guys probably have a lot more supply for that than we do. Mostly with
And
the ties
frankly,
to
we have
Geldir.
access to synthetics, the undead, various other things that don't need to breathe.
I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to ask about the undead thing. No.
You realize how many undead people are just kind of walking around?
Try not to think about it.
You should sometimes. It's awful.
Listen, I had to deal with one vampire already. I'd rather not deal with another. I hate Evie.
Oh boy. So that's what that was. Jesus.
Yeah, they're vampires.
Exactly how do... Alright, so Butch tells me everything was normal, and now y'all are dealing with mechs, vampires, crazy corporate people, chemical weapon warfare. What's next, aliens?
Please no.
Understood.
Don't forget the
Talk to
genetically
reality
modified.
and have it not shit on your plate.
Don't forget the genetically modified monsters.
What?
And yeah, talk to Marge about the rat hulks.
Oh, lovely.
Actually, talk to her about rats at all, and she might get really excited.
Her pet rat's still alive, by the way.
AI?
Al, whatever its name is.
AI.
Yeah, it's still around.
Good.
I actually held him for a little while.
AI is cool. So Skittles, if you meet him.
I don't think I met Skittles.
He's a rat that...
Wait, that's the frog one?
No, that's Peach. Or Peaches.
Oh.
Skittles is another rat. Hangs around with another person by the name of Aiden.
Oh! I never bothered to ask the name of his rat. No, I talked to him just yesterday.
Yeah, that's Skittles. No, that's still a thing.
Alright.
Yeah, genetically modified monsters,
Pleasantries
genetically
aside.
modified humans, things like that.
To recap. Samples of the gas.
Mm-hmm.
Some sort of actual evidence that the tigers are illegally operating out of market.
That one's going to be very
In a way that we
hard.
can actually intervene. And then the hardest, Malleus.
Malleus.
And then we have the tunnel program going, and is there anything else that I should be aware of?
Other than the thing I talked to you about making the Whispers legitimate,
Which you
No.
said you still needed to think on.
I need to think about, but you can introduce it to him.
Alright. I would also, if you have any pictures, like pictures of these vipers, so we can try to draw up any schematics or anything like that in case we have to deal with them.
If you do see them, shoot the head.
Unfortunately, I do not have laser weapons.
Well, if you get a ballistic weapon big and powerful enough, inertia's still a thing.
I'm guessing this does not apply.
At most, you might crack the lens.
762 by 51 NATO. Oh, lovely.
That
Once again,
is actually
something
why
different. Actually,
this
hey, there you are.
and the slugs. That's why I operate it for slugs, because the mass, once it hits, unlike a bullet, which will shatter, this will hit and it'll have enough mass behind it to keep going and actually damage something. And he pulls out another shell.
Don't flag me with that.
Explosive slugs. It hits, it goes a little bit, and then it detonates.
Then it, yes.
And trust me, I'm much more gun aware than you think. There's a reason why I had my finger off the trigger.
Otherwise, you'd be missing fingers.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember old demolitionist people in the Whisperers who were missing fingers. I learned this many lessons.
Yeah, I'm lucky
I'm
to
glad
have
you learned them.
these.
Why did it take 3?
Took me 3 lessons,
Oh my goodness.
counting with my thumb.
But yeah,
Alright.
that's the rough of it. And also, if you want to go on any operations we do to see if you can obtain information, make sure anybody who comes is 1, human, and 2, has roughly the same gear we do.
I have a feeling I'm getting even more advanced gear soon. You know, no space age.
That
shit,
right there?
but reconverted ZMF.
That
armor.
right there is too much.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not really getting rid of this. So,
Oh,
and what all do you think it does actually? 'Cause all it does is just read my biometrics.
well,
Well, then it has a map and a radio, and I can put like an inventory log in there. Like a note-taking thing. I can use it
as
like a
long
phone.
as it's similar to a phone, you're good. But if it does anything like you have a thing out that goes out and does hacking things, then it might be complicated.
No.
All right, then you're
Now,
good.
unfortunately, I did have to attach the camera to a wire, so I have to actually hold out my thing like that to take a photo.
Wait,
but it is a
How
camera.
thin is that wire?
It's just like a standard like electrical cable wire that's haphazardly attached.
It's that small? Okay, how big is the camera?
About like that big, like standard lens.
You just gave me an idea. You know how there's always that gap underneath doors and such? Or like around windows?
Oh, you're talking one of those.
Uh-huh, or like in a window, you can just put it up there and look through without having to do anything crazy. You can even put anti-glare.
That's why I always carried a piece of broken glass with me.
I usually just listen out. I'll think about that. That's a really good idea. That's a really good idea. All right.
It's very hard to find one of these, but that modification did not come as standard. That was my
Well,
friend
it doesn't have to be
Clark
one of
doing
those
that.
things. It could literally just be a device all on its own.
Okay.
I
Like,
could
I
probably
even
get...
hear rumors that some special forces agencies elsewhere have that attached to their guns.
Some special forces agencies have a rifle that they have a setting around here that they then pull back and forward to
Yeah,
adjust the angle of the gun. So they don't have to go fully around the corner to
Have
shoot.
one of those.
Yeah. You do it forward, it goes to the right. Center, straight forward. To the back, left. And I think it does 45-degree angles.
God, I'd love one of those.
I mean, it's quite simple.
Very happy, man.
With the stuff we have nowadays, honestly, I could probably get one of my mechis to make you one.
I think you should get your mechis to make y'all one of those. For like 10, 100. This is urban warfare.
True. Yeah, well, that's the rough of it. You have my number. You need any clarification on anything or need to go anything over words are
One
hard.
question.
Or anything else, let me know. Yeah, one question.
Do you think you could ask Nev in a way that wouldn't betray her dispositions what exactly she is asking for if she wanted to turn neutral?
She is asking for a
Credits-wise,
billion.
accommodation-wise,
She is
equipment.
asking for billions of credit
Okay.
because she wants to
Never
establish a
mind.
corporation. A Magitech corporation.
Okay. That idea might be dead in the water, but
Yeah. However, here's the thing
some
with
people
that.
have unrealistic expectations.
You make an account of some sort, you filter money to it, and over time, it'll get up there. But if you want, I'm quite frank with her. I can ask her that, and she'll give me a straight answer. How much money do you need to actually build your corporation? A solid amount. And she can give
Or
it to
frankly, what resources? Because we have a district, even if we don't maybe have a billion credits to throw at a random woman. If she just
She'll
needs
want
a
a big
warehouse,
building.
machining tools,
me. She has a warehouse right now.
we have big buildings.
No, I mean she wants like a skyscraper.
We have those in spades. All right, we don't have a skyscraper, but we have something about from where that concrete block is to about where that next concrete block begins. No, ends right there.
How long is it?
This whole, about as far as the eye can see.
All right, that's a bit different because right now she has that with an old base that I used to call home. It's smaller though. It's like a size of a warehouse, kind of. I'll see what I can get from her though. Like, how much do you actually need to start your own corporation and go neutral? And how big of a building would be good for this?
Because frankly, if we could offer her legitimate protection, legitimate business, and lots of it, because these things sound effective, and God knows riot control with a tear gas launching grenade launcher or some sort of... Yeah, no, that would definitely work. These things would not suck to have.
Nope. I'll see what I can do on that front. On the gas, wait, I have a text. Dang it. We only have 2 canisters of Maz's gas. We don't have prices. Okay, so it wouldn't help that much. Only a part of Maz's gas is what William uses from what we've seen thus far. All right. I'll see what I can get, and then I'll get into contact you when I get anything.
One more question, actually. This is something we used to do when we couldn't find cookhouses and we could control the ingredients. Do you actually know what prices gas is made of?
If I did, we'd be making a
Foolish
neutralizing agent.
Yeah, understood.
And I wouldn't be offering to get the gas for you. I'd be offering, payment for the neutralization gas.
Understandable.
But
Speaking
yeah.
of which, payment. I'm sure you're not doing all this out of the goodness of your heart. So, outside of the legitimacy issue, maybe
Right
we can try to
now-
arrange some medicine or something like that.
Medicine is a key factor right here, because we're running desperately low.
We're fighting a war.
We have about a week's worth left.
I can see what we can do. May
Honestly,
not be much.
funds, as low as we are on funds, I'm not worried on that. We can do things to get that. Medical supplies, on the other hand, that we actually need. Funds are secondary in terms of priority.
I'll see what we can do.
All right. Well, it's time to get busy. As always. I never get a break.
As always. Starting to feel on that same boat myself, though. Hey, at least I'm not leading anything.
You keep saying that, you'll eventually be leading something. Have a safe trip, Charles.
Sure enough. You as well.
Unless you took the same elevator. You didn't. All right. Yeah, there are weapons that have been developed for, you can actually, like, pull a thing back and forth and it'll go, and you can pull the trigger back here and it'll shoot. You can show yourself, dude.
Wasn't sure if you were gonna say anything like, aha, the foolish.
Fooled him! Ha ha! Foolish Charles, who knows not the dealings of the Whisperers. I have thus made a deal that does crazy things. No, but that was good. That was good.
I was about to say, that was... Fortunately, I was unaware, out of character, that the Tigers were mostly operating off of the...
Market district?
What you call it. The market district. Yeah, I thought they had pulled into zero.
They're trying to.
Was the whole plot. All right.
They are trying to. I personally think it's a thing being done by Malleus, so that he can far more easily get anything done in District 0 and take control of it. Because right now there's a lot of resistance between the Tigers and even Aki's corporation side. So you take over one side.
Been seeing much of it, that might change soon.
Yeah, you take over one side, that's half the battle done.
Right.
Yep, so...
I'm not gonna lie, if Sean did have more tangential evidence, there was actually the thought of giving that info to Malleus to get the Tigers wrecked. Because the kind of thing, if we can get stuff of Malleus fucking up, that's great. However, we might need to shoot for the stars and land on the moon here. Which is why Charles sort of emphasized maybe we just, for now, get the Tigers declared. Because here's the deal, they're declared terrorists, right? Like, everyone in Guardian knows this. But again, we need authorization to do stuff.
Yeah, you guys...
The CIA shit where we embed...
Yuffie should have also gotten the recordings and such.
Yes.
Of what happened.
In fact, she also has the phone number of a great many of the Tiger leaders. Charles does not know that, and Guardian hasn't acted on that because they're blocked by red tape. They need to wait for the Tigers to fuck up in another district.
Oh, Sean also has their numbers. He has Vito's number. Yep.
Though Guardian's using it more for tracking them and less for mafia talks. But...
Which I guarantee you, one of the Tiger bosses named Oz, played by H5000, he's a hacker computer type. So he'd probably prevent them from providing accurate locations, anything like that.
Most likely.
Yeah.
But hey, it's a thought. Like I was explaining to some people before I got in here, most of this it's just a thought. You know, between Kaz and Housifer, we got to work stuff out between everybody to make sure everything runs smoothly.
Yeah, and
frankly,
we
that's why I was so fortunate that
H5000 just confirmed it.
You're also a DM.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, H5000 just confirmed that yes, they're showing false locations.
Confirmed that to Pardu. Hopefully that's been the case, but
I don't know.
Communication, it's a thing, ain't it?
Yeah, isn't it? It's a fun thing. But yeah, with the whole like getting information on where Tiger funds are going and such, we'll need to communicate with that with Housifer because it would affect Malleus and blah, 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 blah.
I was about to say, also, Housifer knows about this meeting, too, because it involved Charles asking about stuff for Malleus.
Okay.
So,
cool stuff.
I'm trying to run this as above board as I can physically do so.
Yeah, because Guardian District has an active investigation on Malleus and the Tigers. So, it makes sense.
I thought that kind of ended with Lono. I don't know, man. I just work here.
Bro, I'm just trying to survive.
I'm struggling, man. I'm just out here.
Bro, I got people. They're coming. They're knocking on my door. They're trying to get inside, asking for my Wheaties. And I said, no, you don't get any Wheaties. Second off, I don't have any Wheaties. I have corn pops.
Jesus. How dare you? Not appease people their Wheaties.
Yeah, I know. Well, the thing is, Wheaties actually do
Charles
something.
was actually going to ask, do y'all want to go legit at any point? Like, some point, Zero might just be a lost fucking cause.
Yeah, so there was multiple things.
You fucking bring it up.
There were multiple things that went through Sean's brain as talking about things was happening, and he was like, wait. So Kaijin Tower isn't doing anything.
Right.
The Guardian District...
But here's the deal. If we authorize y'all to do that, as far as I understand, that's still really only on the railroad. Because, again, we don't have operational authority in Zero.
Yeah, but
red tape.
If we do get legitimacy, we can obtain legal support from the Guardian District so long as we don't do basically the illegal activities. Yeah. Which we're not doing any
that might have to be
in District 0
at this point.
We're not doing any in District 0. Smile.
Even though I believe many of your members are actively trying to be gang members.
They are
in the criminal sense and
they
not
are
just in the
so
affiliation
trying.
sense.
Well, I mean, it's different when you're doing a heist on tigers than, doing a heist on the food market down the street.
Right. Though honestly, yeah, Charles is gonna be like, hey, if you want to go legit, like, he was a little bit disappointed that you didn't really know Slick all that well, but he was a decent enough guy because Charles is very much like, Slick is.
Sean has had like a grand total of maybe 3 or 4 conversations with Slick. He doesn't know him. He knows enough that he knows he's a good guy. And same with Jackie. Cecil he met twice.
I was about to say, Charles doesn't know Cecil all that well outside of Slick's recommendation, which does count for something, but...
Yeah, stop being illegal!
Reputation by... Slick basically earned his reputation by leading everybody out of a trap. So
He does
yeah,
that.
no, that whole thing of shooting the Whisper, or not the Whispers, Maelstrom if they showed up, yeah, they own this tower.
Good stuff. Well, I'm going to get off, stop my
Yeah,
stream.
hopefully you enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was. I actually love going around and making deals and such for gang.
I was about to say, I was talking to people about, branching gang out, trying to control who or what gets involved, of course, and
Yeah, we
talk to
do.
DMs about
Yeah,
all that.
like people can get involved, but we have to make sure it's still like our level of tech. So.
I mean, hold on. I believe, did I not send you the picture of the updated Charles model?
No, you didn't.
I don't think I fucking did. Well, where the hell is my phone? Oh, it's over there.
It's over there.
Yes, it's over. It's all the way over here.
It's all the way over there.
I mean, I bet you can't get. Oh, I'm flying.
Oh.
I bet you can't guess what armor Charles the
Oh wait, no, you did show me. You did show me. It's the yeah. I have seen it. I remember now.
Yeah, with some edits, of course, but
Yeah. But I have seen it. I have seen it. It's that armor from
I was about to say, like,
Fallout.
Yeah. Look, man's preparing for war. He might as well put on the old uniform.
Like, honestly, this conversation, I want to actually go out and try and establish contacts from other districts as well. Like, sure.
Here's the bit.
I know they're not all
as
street
far as
level.
I understand. Well, no, street level. I mean, we're in the Wild West days still a little bit. I mean, Charles is basically, honestly, he's lower power than some of y'all at this point. He's lower power than Sean for sure.
Oh, he is,
But,
because this, you don't have armor.
Yeah, that negates my armor completely. But what was I about to say? Fuck. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, I'm not sure how many districts have a ton of staff working for them.
Probably not many.
There's the Lotus, which
That's really it.
they don't really get involved.
No.
Well, no, there's Nemesis has one person working for them, a whole one. And technically, Palace District does, as far as that DM has been confirmed, has an unofficial councilman. They just aren't on the council. Because Palace District is an anarcho, capitalistic hellhole.
I love how that
There's
happens.
someone to talk to. And an industrial, we pretty much, as far as I'm aware, Sachi is taking over DMing here.
Don't let Mr. Malleus find out.
Bringus comes back.
Mr. Malleus can go suck on a pine cone.
I mean, that's the whole bit, honestly, is Charles was honestly weighing his obligation to Charles didn't even get to tell you what really got him under his bonnet with wanting to go after the Tigers.
Oh.
It's because months and months and months and months and months and months ago, one of them beat and then threatened to kill Sakoto. He heard that in the street and immediately was like, oh yeah, this Frank guy is okay. Davey, he's wild but workable. The other guys are just stuck-up pricks and fuck mass. But then heard that and he was like, I'm going to wear someone's skin. And it won't be mine.
Wow. Calm down. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, you said you needed to get off and charge your stuff.
You want to know? I mean, it's not terrible. Out of character, I know something. Actually, in character, I know something.
Okay.
Charles has an actual garden.
Charles has a what?
Mm-hmm. I've been told that you have an actual garden.
Oh. Wonder who told you that, because it's not running yet.
Wow, I
The
wonder.
map needs to be updated.
It's almost like, you know, Sean is in a relationship with someone from the meat rack.
He is?
You didn't know? Yeah,
Oh,
he's in a
Cassie.
relationship with Cassie. Yeah.
Yeah. If Nietzsche, if you're in that chat, we just need to get the map updated. But he's got all the supplies to get the hydroponics going.
Don't insult
I've got
pine cones like
Canicus-
that. True.
Jesus Christ.
All
I
right,
know,
but
there's
yeah.
definitely a part of yeah. If you need to head out, then you can.
I technically
But,
don't have
there's
to,
definitely-
but yeah.
There's definitely a part of Charles that was like, if I did somehow get that info that I needed to get the Tigers, declared on and market, and Malleus was like, oh no, I'll handle them myself. I
Nope.
wonder if there's a part of Charles that would try to resist that, knowing that they're probably going to become mind slaves, or allow it because they're tigers. But all right, here's the deal. I have no idea if Malleus is actually still funding them. That's been brought up twice this current season. I know the Tigers are trying to break off funding from Malleus. No idea what's going to happen there. No idea how that's been communicated. We'll see. We'll find out.
I don't know.
Out. If Prometheans start blowing up Tiger possessions in the market district, then I fucking know.
I
Except
have
they
eaten
won't.
lunch.
It will continue to be the North Korea of Zafira. As
Oh my
always.
goodness. The market district is North Korea of Zafira.
Did you never make that equation in your head? It is a
Nope.
completely dead silent state where everyone is mind controlled to view a single person as a father-like figure of absolute unquestioned authority.
Nope.
Congratulations.
Woo! I intentionally ignore certain things because I only have so much brain power.
Hip going into the
Yes, when things get too much, my hip actually just goes down, and I just go down into the Earth's crust, or up and out. All right, but I am getting off now.
Oh man.
See you, man.
You have a good one. Take
Yeah,
care.
later.
If you're wanting to arrange this stuff with other folks, good luck.
What?
Hopefully you won't need it.
What?
I said if you're wanting to arrange this stuff with other folks, good luck.
Oh, I need all the luck I can get.
Hey, look, like I told Flick, private sector's always hiring.
What sector? Industrial sector?
The private sector.
Private sector. Yeah, we know.
Charles made a joke with Slick when he was getting medical treatment after Maelstrom shot him the fuck up. Hey, welcome to the private sector. At least we have health insurance. And he laughed until he couldn't because he was shot in the chest.
Mm-hmm.
He was gut shot.
No! Yeah, I shall steal your
mean, he's
Wi-Fi
not
router.
dead.
No, you won't. Well, good. He's not dead.
Give me the fucking Wi-Fi router. This is not a joke.
Meow.
Oh damn it! Oh, hold
Wow,
on.
your
Look, you may have to
your
back up.
barrel's been cut. Wow.
That's why I have the right arm of the free world.
USA! USA! USA!
USA!
All right.
so glad you
Now I am gonna end stream and call it. See you, man. No, you're not gonna steal my Wi-Fi router. You're not gonna do it. I will eat dinner before our session starts. I do need to make sure things are charged and things, just because tonight's gonna be long. But yeah, guys, I will see you soon. There's gonna be a second stream here in a couple hours. But yeah, guys, I'm the FootKnight. Fight on. USA! USA! USA!